Get me every time. Hi, everybody. This is Miss Janice, your licensed natural hair care practitioner. I'm at my desk today, and I wanted to just come and make a quick announcement to the Locksters at Locksters Embassy on Facebook Live or on Facebook. I haven't been making a an announcement or been on in a while because I've been here on YouTube making tutorial videos for those who want to be licensed natural hair care practitioners. I just wanted to make sure that I announced that because now and then I'll get an update of one of you uploading a new picture or someone coming on, and it'll say, well, since the last time you've been on, and then it'll go and tell give an example of what I've missed. So I don't want to miss out on anything that you're doing, and I don't want you to miss out on anything that I am doing. I started this community, Locksters Embassy, to make sure that we get in touch with one another. I want to make sure that know that there's somebody that is tutoring. Let's see. Right now, I'm tutoring to get your GED. I'm tutoring to get your I'm tutoring Spanish. And what I'm doing is I'm actually getting the books or the modules, and I'm making sure that we go through each and every page together. The module for the licensed natural hair care practitioner test, I started out with that one. And as I was doing that, a young lady had asked me, would I please tutor her? And I said yes. And I was just amazed at what she wanted to be tutored in. She wanted to be tutored so that she can get her GED. And then I'm finding out that there's some young people out there whose parents want them to learn how to write, whose parents want them to learn how to read, but not necessarily only read and write and whatnot, but they also want them to develop their character and how to work with young people at school. Some, of course, you know that some young people are not as fast, or we'll put it this way, some young people are just not the smartest person in their classroom yet. I always I say, are you the smartest person in your classroom yet? And they'll say, no, not yet, right? What that means is they know that Miss Janice is going to help them to get to be one of the smartest people in their school, not just the classroom. And what we're doing is we're starting at such an age, training and encouraging and building up the confidence in your young people or in your youth or in your children and grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, your friends. And we started this community so that others can start bringing others in the community. The way it works is just like this. I used to do homework ministry, and I used to do that on the it was on the phone. U version. It's called U version of the Bible. You can actually go for or look for U version, and then they can say live events. And I used to take phone calls, texts, and there was like people in one young lady, I think she was like 10 or 11, and then she had asked a question because she found out that I tutor. And then she'd ask this question like how to do when you add five numbers together, and then you divide it by five to get the average. She wanted to know how to do averaging. And I explained that to her. But I was at home at the time, and I said, I'll go over to the church and I'll make sure, because we were communicating online. She would text something, I would text something back. She would text something, I would text something back. So I said, what I'll do is I'll leave the house and I go over to the church. When I got over to the church, it was like, well, where are you? What happened? And the next day she wrote, when I come back home from school, she said, I'm on my way to school. And when I come back home from school, I'll be able to talk with you again. And I'm like, come back home from school? It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, it was earlier than that, but it wasn't even prayer time yet. And I heard this ding. So I answered it and was like, why not come back? So I wanted to know where she is. And I found out she was texting from New York. So it's like a 3 hours different. That's how you know it was early to 9 o'clock. Anyway, even her time. And so she was texting from New York. And I was like, well, how did you get my number? And I forgot that I had started my tutorials on U version. So I ended up putting it online as homework ministry in Facebook. And so on Facebook, I have homework ministry, but it started out as just something, I just wanted to do. I wanted to help people to do their homework. But this time I was tutoring, and there's a young lady, and I had, excuse me, I'm going a little ahead of myself, and I had advertised at our church a free gift to adults for any of your school age children that wants to know math, reading, and writing. I will tutor them for free. It was called the Tutor Lab, and I didn't really get any responses, so I offered it further, and it was till September the 15th. You have to text Miss Janice, let her know when you and your children are be available, like that. And because I tutor all the time, I tutor all the time. If I'm not tutoring children, I'm tutoring adults. If I'm not tutoring adults, I'm tutoring in the realm of the spirit, how to do all different types, of activities with Father. But when it gets to the natural, it's like you skip that, Jan. I want you to go back and do this. So Miss Janice had began a embassy, whereas a license. I'm a night. Hold on. Whereas I tutored natural hair care practitioners to get their license, but I wasn't a natural hair care practitioner. I am Miss Janice, the word reader, and I began to tutor online and this format, how to get your license. And I said I was going to take the test in October. So I started like the last week of August, and about the second week or going on the third week in September, I said, I'm going to take my test. So I told the people that I was tutoring what I was going to do. And I said, at least, we can get rid of the fear of taking tests. Because as I'm reading about the test, it said if you don't pass the test on the seventh or the eighth time, like you take the test and then on the seventh time you didn't pass, and then you have to wait a month before you take the test again. On the eighth time, if you didn't pass, then you have to wait another month and you take the test again. And I said the least that I could do, if I don't pass, at least I know what type of test it is. And I was just planning on passing anyway, but I've noticed that there's a fear in taking tests, or you might not get it right this time, and you might have to take the test again, and I don't want to do it again like that. So when I got done, I went and I took the test. First, I had somebody to take me to Salem. They took me to Salem to take the test. By the time I got finished with the test is like that quick. And not only is it quick, the test is really not hard. It's what's in the module. And so what I do is I teach from the book. I tell you how to get the book. I tell you how to get the module. I tell you where to go to get the GED book that I'm going to tutor you from. I tell you to start everything from the dollar store. So I went to the dollar store and I got the alphabets. That it's a board and it's like a puzzle, and you put the alphabets in. I teach you step by step how to not only know for a fact that you're going to pass the test. You're going to pass, because right now I have 100% success rate with taking tests, and I have like the guarantee. If you go sit and take the sit down written test and don't pass, you get your money back. But the thing is, this is the thing. I give you everything for free. And then I tell you how much it costs. You get it for free. You get, as a matter of fact, when I was doing the natural hair care practitioners tutorials, I bring in little examples or how much it costs in other states, um, how we're at the baby stage of natural hair care. Because in 2013 it became a House bill that got voted for to separate natural hair care from the cosmetology hours of course, or the course that takes hours, which is over 1,000 hours to get your natural hair care license. And you can take um, tutorials and stuff like that. But what they did was they separated it in 2013, and then it became a bill, House Bill 3049. And what I explained is that it's in such a baby stage that there is no continued education. There is no, and you can become excuse me, an entrepreneur with your license as a natural hair care practitioner. So, as an entrepreneur, you can do what I'm doing. You can become a licensed natural hair care practitioner tutor, or you can become a licensed natural hair care practitioner who tutors out and goes out into the public. You can become a freelance authorization to whereas you don't necessarily have to do hair. I sell these, I distribute these. They're called tubes, and I show how to, do the different designs. I just threw this one on because I was coming on. I usually have my hair out, and I'm showing people how to do their hair. I'm showing people how to do hair, period. Um, I'm talking them through the process. Uh, I'm making little videos. I am doing everything that I know how to make you become a success at what you do as a person. You don't have to be a African American, and you don't have to be any nationality, any race. Um, that's what I'm here for. I'm just here to teach you and give you some pointers and some clues and some hints how to be as a successful person. Not trying to make it hard, not even trying to make it too easy. You just want to be a person who follows through and enjoy what they do and how to monetize it. Because look, when I go to work every day, I have a elders license and at my church, and I work at my church. Basically what I do every day is I have the easiest job in the whole wide world. I mean, I go to church and I crochet hats and I pray. And that's basically what I do all day is pray all day. Pray from 12 to 4. Just pray and just talk to Father and just go to Him on behalf of the people, learning how to help them, not for me to solve the problem, but to giving them direction as to come out of the negative that their lives are in. If they've been sick, Father heals through these hands. If they need encouragement, direction, comfort, Father blesses them through this mouth. I mean, he speaks through you. And if you allow him, if you're willing to be used like that. So what I do is I stay in his presence for such a while, and for a while, for such a time as this. Because there's people that need him. We all need Father. We all need him. But there are people that do not have the opportunity to know what it means to have authority in the spirit. And so that's what I do on a regular Monday, basically through Sunday. I pray. I pray and I talk to Father. But as He's given me ideas of how to encourage and how to push people and how to lead and how to guide and how to direct, He's given me all these different platforms of doing what I naturally do every single day and enjoy doing. That's what I said. I believe that I have the best job in the world. The easiest job in the world. I don't think it can get any easier. I don't. I really don't. So what I'm doing is I'm making this video so that those who are in Lobster's embassy can either get a link and they can connect to me. You join or become a subscriber to Lockster's Embassy. That's where I am on YouTube all the time. I'm tutoring, I'm talking, I'm using my voice to help people to help themselves. For example, I'm looking at my desk. I'm at the desk. I call this at the desk. Okay, I have a writer's book here. Of course, I have my Bible. But that's not what we're going to do. See, I'm showing you the practical of what it looks like. Here it is. So if, say, for example, you have some little ones and you want them to learn how to write. And I hope that's not too bright. Let me move it in a little closer so you can see it. There you go. So you want them to learn how to write. Okay, you want them to learn how to write the capitals, or you want them to write the lowercase. And this is just an example. Okay, so what you want to teach them, and this is what I do, but I teach you to teach. So if you want them to learn how to write the alphabet or the numbers, the first thing you want to teach them is how to write a capital I, a lowercase I, a capital O, and a lowercase o. That way they will know how to write every letter and every number in the English language. And also I tutor the same way in Spanish. You know, I just do it real slow. I go over it. No one told me that this was backwards. I was wondering why I was looking right. Okay, here you go. Now, I'm just going to show you one. In order to write a capital I, you have to learn how to go from top to bottom, right? And so you can see it right here in the B. You go from top to bottom. In order to make an O, you go from left to right. I believe it's left to right. It could be right to left, but I'm left-handed. So anyway, you go and you literally make the O's first. That's how you teach them how to make a B. And you're making the same circle that you would make. In order to make a C, you would make a capital O. And you would say you just don't close it. In order to make a D, you need that I that comes with the capital I. You need that line going up and down. And then you teach them to make a capital O. This is teaching right now. This is not writing the letter the perfect way. This is teaching. So what you do is you teach them first how to make a capital I and a lowercase I with the dot. Why am I saying that? Because if you learn how to write a capital I, you can make an E. See? You have this line here from the top, this line from the bottom, and then you make the cross that goes from right to left or left to right. Let me see. Left to right. Okay? And then you make another one in the middle. So now they know top, bottom, and then you learn it, you're teaching them middle. And then you go here, here, middle, and here. Okay, now let's make a capital K. We're skipping, yes, but I just need to show you this so I can go on. Okay, there's the line for the capital I. And this is the same line that you would make. So you would go from top to bottom on an angle. Now you're teaching the word angle to touch the middle of the line that you just made. And the same way you go from here in the middle down. Okay, but it's the same line that you use at the top and the bottom of an I. The only difference is instead of putting it here, capital I, only difference is instead of putting it here to here, you're going here to here and here to here. Okay, the J is the top, the lowercase I without the dot. So you go here, and then you make the bottom half of an O. You see that? Okay, now, and the same thing maybe it was right and I just think it's wrong. But the same thing with the lowercase. You need the lowercase I to make an M. Then you use the O and you just don't close it. The lowercase O. And then you do another one, lowercase o. Okay? The same thing with a T, the same thing with the lowercase j. See, that's why you need the lowercase I, because of this right here. And then because of this, see how it's almost the same size? Lowercase o to finish it. And so what I'm doing is I'm teaching how to read, how to write, how to spell, the sounds. And I learned this, I think in about 2011, when I was getting up one day. I learned if you know how to, little one, if you know how to write a capital I, a lowercase I, a capital J, a lowercase j, you will know how to write every letter in the English language. That's what I heard. But then as I began to practice it and to teach it, I also learned that it's every number. And then I also learned that it's in Spanish too. And then I also learned that it's in every single letter in the whole in the alphabet of every letter in the whole wide world. The only thing is they just write different. Like I learned some letters in Farsi, and that's how I know that. This Iranian language. I don't know if that's the right or the politically correct how sentence structure of how to do that or how to say that, but I know if you're Iranian, the language you speak is Farsi. And it's using the same symbols. It's just more like cursive. Even if you're writing cursive, you still have to know how to write a capital I, a lowercase I, a capital O, and a lowercase o. When I learned this song that I'm getting ready to sing to you, my daughter was 3. No, she was younger than 3. She was about, well, she could have been 2 or 3. She was close. Oh, I was close. Oh, I'm close. And we were walking, and I used to change every song to my steps. So my steps would be Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Everywhere that Mary went, like that. So we used to sing songs. And one day I was singing the alphabet song. But we didn't say A, B, C. We didn't do that. We were walking a little slower and it sounded like this. Aber could F good hit it jaka it a pu could to a wa x ya and z. Now I know my alphabet sounds. Sing with me the next time around. And so I just wanted to make sure that you knew that Miss Janice is a tutor. She's a word reader. Yes, Miss Janice, the word reader, but she also now is tutoring, and she's tutoring live at Lobster's Embassy at on YouTube. Sorry, because for some reason I'm going to say Facebook Live. I might try, or I might put the link on Lobster's Embassy, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew what I'm doing. Okay. Also, I do Periscope, but I've been at Lobster's Embassy on YouTube live for a while now, and it hasn't been months or anything like that. It's just been weeks. But this is where I'm going to hang out so that people can find me. Sometimes people will come on and they'll look and they'll click and they'll write. And I noticed that when I do my I think it's called analyticals, when you tell how many, when it tells you how many people watched, how many views you had, how many views you had, how many or how long they viewed and stuff like that. It's like 60 something people, but I'm not seeing on here how to find you. Like I've been looking, I do my analyticals, but you're not subscribing. That's what I wanted to say. So subscribe, so that we can hang out and talk more. And I'm basically doing the GED because one of the people that watch me all the time asked, do what I teach regarding taking the GED test. So I went to Barnes and Noble. I looked through lots of books, lots of not lots. There was only one box of flashcards, and I said, I don't think I've ever teach with flashcards. But then I remembered that there's a board that can be behind me that I can write on so everybody can see. So I set it up to whereas you can do this too. Anything you learn, just talk about it. That's one of the ways to know that you learned it. When you talk about it and someone gets interested. Once they're interested and start, you can tell they're interested because they'll start asking questions. So once they get interested, start asking those questions, then you'll know, I'm really learning this. And that's how I knew to take the test before October. I didn't want to for a person to discourage me. So what I did was I took the test in September, and I wasn't planning on being a natural hair care practitioner. I wasn't planning on doing that. But I like to read and I like to tutor. And my daughters wouldn't like do my hair and stuff like that. And it's not a negative thing. They would do it, but they were not doing it the way I wanted. So I went and took the test. Let me see if you can see it. Oh, you can. Look at that. I went and I took the test. And then after I passed the test, I just got excited. And I during tutoring, I said that what I wanted to do is I want to go to where African American children are. And in Portland, Oregon, that's where I live. In Portland, Oregon, what happens is a lot of children from families, some African American parents don't know how to take care of natural hair. There's Caucasians who take care of them in the foster care system. And when they take care of their hair, they usually take them to a beautician or they usually take them to like that, especially the girls. I just learned that from my pastor that that's a good place to start. It was like, go there, get in, ask them, can you teach how to do the hair, tutor them, etc. And so that's what I plan on doing. And another thing I encourage you to do is put what you're doing or want to do, put what you do and desire to do future out in your environment. Just begin to speak it into the atmosphere. And that's what happened. I started tutoring licensed natural hair care practitioners. And then I started doing little practicals like this. The module talks about tools and implements. So I brought in the comb. They was talking, well, we call this a rat tail comb, but they just call it a tail comb without the word rat. Implements are like rubber bands, clips, things to get the hair done and things you need in order to hold the hair. I talk about my tool of choice, and I'm a lock specialist, becoming better and better at locking hair. I started locking my hair for it to grow. I had a bald spot at the top of my head, and now the bald spot's gone. I have my hair in some loose locks. I'm trying to think. Probably in 2000, I don't know. But what happened is I just noticed that my hair was not growing like in this part right here. And I took a picture, then I just started locking it. And last year is the first year that I documented a year of locking, putting knots in my hair with this J hook. They're all are different. And the reason I call them a J hook is because and then there's a flame at the top that symbolizes the Holy Ghost. And that's how I got started with this J hook. So that's one of the tools. And I'm always telling people that I am going to be a licensed facility owner, but I have to get started somewhere. So that's why I'm starting here. The tutorial is usually, I do them free, but if people decide to pay, it's usually $75 per tutorial. So for being tutored in anything, it's $75. This right here is a weaving tool, and it's called a curved needle. This is not the right thread, I don't believe, but I was going to use it to practice on my head. And then I decided, nope, I'm just going to start advertising now what I want. I want licensed natural hair care practitioners who specialize in weaving, whose specialty is weaving. I want licensed natural hair practitioners who specialize in locking. I'm doing it, but I really want to become a distributor, a tutor. So I distribute my J hooks, I distribute these lock socks. I teach people how to use lock socks. This right here is a real sock. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I just wanted to make a vid to let the Locksters Embassy community know where I am on YouTube so that they can get in on it and subscribe. Thank you so much for being even a follower of mine on Facebook. I really appreciate that. I really do. And I'm not on that much because now I'm telling you where I am. I wanted to get started at tutoring, do a whole module regarding tutoring, show you how effective the tutoring is that I do, but it's I'm not jumping all over the place like I do in homework ministry. When I tutor, I literally come on and tutor. Hold on. I believe I had the module here. If not, it's over there. And I tell everybody that in real life, there it is. It's 147 pages, this module is. I was clearing off my desk. Is how come it's not out right now. But I tell everybody this module is probably 20 pages, if 20, if it was in natural writing. Because some of the pages and the words are very big and the page is not full. So that's why I say 20, no more than 25. But I don't think, and if it was like the print, a regular print, which is 12 point times Romans, it wouldn't even, I doubt very seriously. Because some of them have like maybe 12 to 20 words on the page. So it seems like this module is going to be thick and long, but if you're serious, I did this. I separated the pages into like 21 pages per day, depending on how many pages it is. I try to do 7 days of tutoring, and the tutoring part doesn't really last that long, but the encouragement part, the talking it through, the making sure that this is something that you want to do. The ease of it, it's a word. It's like it's a group, the community part, the positive attitude that you can have just by doing something fun and doing one style of hair and doing that one style of hair. I've shown how in previous videos and I know I said I was going to go, but this came up. So I was showing how in previous videos that I also make hats. I crochet hats. And my Locksters design for like this year and next year, probably until I get tired now, because It's called bigs, and the hats are normally like made very big, so they'll be like this. They come close to your face at the end because I crochet a band around it, and then so that your locks will fit in it, and there's room for locks to grow. I will go and get one, but I don't want to leave the camera because then I will be on here even longer. I just wanted to make a quick vid. I angled the camera because I want it on this desk. Hold on. And I haven't gotten used yet. I'm trying to just end it at the curtain. And I haven't gotten used yet to it being on this side of the table. I put it over here the other day and I just kept bumping into it, and I said I better move it because I believe one day I'm gonna knock this off. So anyway, my main objective is to tutor licensed natural hair care practitioners. That's gonna be my main objective. But I just wanted to make sure that you know that I'm tutoring other things besides licensed natural hair care practitioners to get their license. I'm also getting ready to get my license, my food handler's card. So now I got the module for this, for the food handler's card. Because there's some people out there that want to be restaurant owners. And one of the best ways to become a restaurant owner is to start at the foundation. I mean, you can be a restaurant owner because you know how to cook, but there might be times when people go, I'm not going back there. I saw the guy, his apron was dirty, because we think that once we have funds and, friends and people is going to show up. But when your funds stop coming because the people stop showing up because your apron is always dirty, or, you want to be clean at all times. You want to be professional at what you do. And don't give up. Just that's one of the things you got to do. Just do better. Just do the best. Just be honest, just so you can be secure in what you're doing. It's like nobody can ever take my job. If I go anywhere else in the world, I still can pray. You see what I'm saying? It's like what you enjoy doing, you get paid to do it if you keep doing it. So don't give up. That's what I mean when I say don't give up. And the reason I keep fiddling with this is because now that I know where I want this camera, because I like the lighting. There you go. And I told everybody that I'm going to start getting comfortable. Hold on. So I'm supposed to be sitting back like this and talking. It's very hard. I always lean forward and talk. But I figure if I fix the camera, it will remind me to sit back. So hold on. Don't go away. I'll be right back. No, just joking. See, because if I lean forward and my head touches this, that will go, oh, Miss Janice, you need to sit back. See, there's room above my head. Okay, I'm going to let you go. And so I'm going to do my best to copy this and put this on Lobster's Embassy on Facebook. So be encouraged and come visit me and ask questions. Invite your friends to follow. I'm doing my best to get 1,000 followers before I finish the GED book. So we're going to do the food safety first because somebody wants to be a owner of a restaurant, but they also need to know what the other people need to know. Like there's laws, there's rules. Once you become a licensed owner, you have to know the simple floor or foundation rules to whatever you're doing. Just like in order to become a licensed natural hair care practitioner, You have to know the basic foundational rules so that if you ever had an inspection, someone came to inspect with their little check off list, and you get ding 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 ding. Um, oh, anyway, anyway, we'll go over that. Or like I said, you can look at what I've been doing here, and then you'll be amazed at seriously, you're gonna become a licensed natural hair care practitioner. I've been doing hair all my life. I like to plant. I like to make styles in people's hair. I like to help people's hair grow. I like to just think about what you like to do. Just plain old think about what you like to do. If you like to travel, then one day you come on and become a travel agent. I will do my best to go and find a book to tutor it. Whatever you want to do, you can get tutored by Miss Janice. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming on and visiting me today. And I trust that all is well with you. Sorry I didn't ask that earlier. I usually ask, how you doing? But I didn't. I apologize for that. But okay, Locksters, thank you so much for following me on Facebook Live. Now come on over to YouTube. Find me and follow me.